Hey guys, Sandy here. Welcome back to my channel. This is today's sketch. It does feature one photo. It's from Sketches in Time. Now I am going to be using this one 4x4 square photo from when I made the Confessions of a Paper Addict design team. I have not scrapbooked this. It's just kind of been sitting in my pile of to be scrapped photos. So we're going to get that done today. And then I'm going to play with my lovely leftovers. So this is where I have been placing all of the papers that I have offcuts off of, and then I make some layouts with it. I did go ahead and pull one 12 by 12 piece of pattern paper. This is from Simple Stories 2017 Domestic Bliss. It's this beautiful teal wood grain. It does have this awesome plaid on this side, but the wood grain is just speaking to me right now. So let's see what I can do. All right, so I'm flipping through my lovely leftovers pile here, and I'm just picking out some things that I might like to use. Now, when I originally had this photo printed, I was thinking I was going to do lots of mixed media with some watercolors and lots of splashy rainbow goodness. However, I decided to go a little bit of a different route this time. So I do have my pinwheel stencil, and then I'm just going through and picking out anything that I think might be in this kind of pinky, purpley blue color scheme. Because anytime I can use more purple in my scrapbooking, I'm going to do it. Now this cardstock right here is a metallic cardstock. I don't know exactly what color it's supposed to be. I really couldn't tell you. But it is metallic, and I think that it is a beautiful color, so I'm going to go ahead and place that down here. And then I'm going to use this dark wood grain paper, and this is a Paper House paper. I do have to say, you guys, Paper House has some amazing wood grains. They just really do. And you know, anytime I can use and find a good wood grain, I'm down with it. So this pinwheel stencil, as you can see, I am using the same product I used previously on this stencil that I never cleaned off. And I'm using the Gina K Glitz, and this is in gold. And I just put my stencil down kind of willy-nilly. It's not straight, it's not lined up. I'm just using the glitz through the entire stencil. Now, the reason why I didn't clean off the stencil from last time is because this is a lower quality Mylar than what I make my stencils with. So I have this lower quality Mylar to kind of test out things, make sure that they work right. And I mean, it works, it definitely works. It's just a thinner Mylar. It doesn't hold up as well, but it's great for testing out things just to make sure it works. My original plan was to cut a new stencil out of the good Mylar, and I'm definitely going to do that because this stencil actually got tossed after I finished with it. Now I am going to let that dry over here with this beautiful glitz, and in the meantime, while that's drying, I'm going to work down here on the bottom portion of the layout. So my original plan, I guess I am going to mat my photo onto this khaki cardstock, and then, am I still playing around with the photo? Maybe. No. I do cut down this kind of cross-hatched gold paper to represent this bottom piece, and then I have this darker blue paper I'm going to trim down. And I do have to say, I like working with a smaller trimmer for the smaller pieces of paper. I feel like I have better control over it. Plus the smaller trimmer is just easier to move around and toss in and out of my space. Both of my trimmers are guillotine trimmers by Tim Holtz and Tonic, in case you were wondering. So I have these little bits trimmed down, and instead of using what looks like to be the same piece of paper all the way across here on the sketch, I am going to mix it up a little bit, give it a little bit more oomph, and use a couple different papers. Now I am going to go through my florals just to see what I can see, just to see what I have. I'm going to try out a couple things, and then ultimately I'm going to go with a couple of other florals. So I do find multiple ones of the same type of flower, And what that is going to do is allow me to have the same decoration on the bottom that will be up at the top as well. And these little roses are the ones I'm going to grab. I do find 3 of them. And then I'm going to go through and find a couple of leaves as well. I wasn't sure if I had multiple of the same one, so I'm just going through and picking out a few things. One that I figured would coordinate. And then sure enough, I have 2 of the same. So that is going to do it. And I'm just flipping through just to see if I have anything else that might work. And ultimately, this little box goes back into my storage space, and I'm just going to use these roses. So now that I have those, I have to figure out what I'm going to do down here. Now, I don't just want to plop a rose down over top of this little bit that I have down here. So I go into another die cut bin, and I'm just peeking through and filling, kind of like feeling what feels good. I do pick this circle that says memories. Now, I do have to admit, this circle kind of stresses me out because I don't like it when words are divided up like this. It's just not my thing. But, you know, I figure it looks okay. And when I'm finished with the layout, I'm completely pleased with it, so I'm not truly worried about it. So I'm going to pop that circle down, and then also one of the roses here. And the reason why I'm working down here in this area is because I want to give time for that glitter gel up there time to dry. Now, I do admit I grabbed my heat tool and heated up a little bit just to help it along. Because I wanted to get this layout finished, and it was just taking its good, sweet time to dry. Now, this buffalo plaid tag is one that I use very often as a template for my tags. And I'm just going to trim off this little piece of paper. I'm not worried about it not being a full tag because it is getting tucked into my layers down here. So it's not like I'm trying to make you think that this is a full real tag because it is being tucked in. Now, it is in the same color family as the wood grain paper in the background, and that doesn't stress me out whatsoever. I kind of like it. So I do pull that off, dry it a little bit with my heat tool, and then I'm going to add adhesive all over the back of it. Got to get some things out of the way first. So I add adhesive, and then I'm going to start layering it up and creating the main area of decoration and embellishment on my layout. So I'm going to go ahead and get that down. And then I have this little tassel banner that was also in that same embellishment kind of area that I pulled out the memory circle. And now I'm just going to build up a couple little layers. So I am referencing the sketch right here, but I'm not making it an exact replica. I'm kind of doing what feels good to me, just knowing that I have a couple of layers to layer up because of the sketch. So I put that multicolored circle down at the bottom, and now I'm just going to flip through my lovely leftovers bin and see what else I can do. I do find this other Paper House paper that is a great blue color, and I'm going to trim that down and layer my photo on top of it. And what that's going to do is give me a little bit of extra oomph, a little bit of an extra color, so that everything doesn't feel just plain and the same. Now, I do like adding pops of unexpected color in my layouts. I really feel like that kind of thing adds interest to your page, and it gives your eye something to gravitate towards. So I just felt like that was the perfect little fit. Now I am going to layer up these 2 roses right here to kind of mimic the embellishment that is going on in the layout. I'm going to tuck in the 2 little leaves as well. And I really like how that looks. Now this little ruler guy, it's just a color. It's not really the ruler that I'm more interested in. It's really the color. So that gets tucked up there as well. And then I'm trying to figure out where I want this celebrate to go. And I like it right here, kind of layered up over the flowers and where the gold bits are. Now I held it up just to make sure that it looked good and it made sense in my mind. And then I also have some embroidery floss. And what that is going to do is be the perfect little bow tie for my tag, because I cannot have a naked tag hole. Cannot do it. Now, I'm sure if I looked in previous layouts from many years ago, I probably have some naked tag holes, but right now, stresses me out. I can't have it. Got to fill the tag hole. So whether it's with a brad, a sequin, or with twine, we are going to do that. So I did do it with some black twine, and then I decide to go ahead and kind of do a sketchy doodly border around the blue, and that's just going to bring that black color up. So I've got the black color in the photo, I've got the black bow tie, and I've also got black up on the tassel-y bit up there. So I just want to make sure that there is, you know, enough black represented on my layout. Now, if I was doing this layout again, I probably would have matted my photo on black cardstock before matting it on the khaki colored cardstock. But that's, you know, that's hindsight. I love the layout the way it is, so I'm not too stressed out about it. I do add a couple little word phrases, and then I'm also going to be using these basic circle stencils. So this will be a new stencil that will, I'm not sure if it's going to go live in the shop before this video or after this video, but it will be live sometime today. They're just basic circles that you can just use to do outlines, to kind of sketch with a pencil and mark things, whatever you need to do with a circle. It's just a variety of circle shapes that you can use. So what I'm going to do is trace the shape with my Muji pen, and then I'm going to move it ever so slightly and trace it again. So basically what I'm doing is getting a messy circle without it looking too funky and it truly being part of a circle. I'm going to do that up at the top, and I'm also going to do that down here at the bottom. Now, I was thinking I was going to add some sparkly sequins to it because I've got that super awesome glittery glitz gel through my stencil, but I decided not to do that. I decided to go with these sticky rhinestone bits, and the only thing I'm going to be doing is placing them along my doodly circle bits, and I'm just kind of spacing them out. I'm eyeballing it. It's not being measured. Nothing is like scientific over here, guys. It's just what I think looks good. Now I am going to do it on the larger circle and also the smaller circle. And I think what this does is just gives it a little bit of extra oomph. Would the page be awesome and amazing and perfectly finished if I didn't have these two little circles with the extra rhinestones? Of course it would be. But this is one of those times where more is more, and it truly makes me happy. So if you are a minimalist scrapbooker, you probably wouldn't go for this, but if you are a maximalist, is that a word, maximalist? Let's make it a word, maximalist. If you are a maximalist scrapbooker, then this could be right up your alley. Or maybe this isn't even enough. Maybe you're like, you should have put those sparkly sequins down, and I'm disappointed you didn't. I get you. I feel you. I am a more is more type person most of the time in my scrapbooking as well. So then I decide, oh, I've only got a couple little bits of these rhinestone bits left. So you know what? I'm going to zhuzh up this little banner thing too. I'm not just going to leave it plain. So I put the little bits all along each of the little banners, and they're not in an exact straight line. They're kind of bouncing around the tassels. And then I also put one on the bow ties. And then I'm like, you know what? I've just got a couple more. We're going to put them on the word stickers as well. So we're just making sure that there is lots of shiny goodness and little bits all along the page and not just where the circles are. I did have a little bit of glitz on my photo, so I kind of rubbed it off and scraped it off a little bit. I did use the heat tool, but you know, it wasn't exactly all the way dry. I am going to write a few lines of journaling about how much I enjoyed being on the Confessions of a Paper Addict cut file design team. It truly was a good time. I love the projects I made. Virginia makes awesome cut files. So I'm going to pop that down there, and then that is going to do it, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks for joining me for 100 sketchy videos, and also for Follow a Sketch February. If you would like to play along with any of the sketches, please join the Scrapping Reflections Facebook group. That's where they'll all be. And I got to tell you, the creations that scrapbookers are coming up with, blowing my mind. They are absolutely gorgeous. So thanks again for watching, and I will see you again real soon for another video. Every time you have to make a comment as soon as I press record.
Well, that's what you do when you hit record. You make comments.
It's my YouTube channel. Hey everybody. Now I'm not even doing it right. What is wrong?